If you want to upgrade your chicken breast from this to this, then you've come to the right place. We're going to talk about what makes chicken breast dry, show you the most common mistakes when cooking white meats like breast, and finally, give you a foolproof method for juicy, tender chicken breast every time. Bonus at the end, after we cook our chicken, I'm going to show you an easy pan sauce that will go perfect with any chicken dish. Let's talk about common mistakes when cooking chicken breast. The first common mistake is not monitoring internal temperature. When a lean meat like chicken is cooked on a pan without proper temperature checks, we can easily misjudge its internal temp. This breast that we're making right now looks fully cooked on the outside, but when checking its internal temperature, we're sitting at about 130 degrees Fahrenheit. That's equivalent to a medium rare steak. Touching your breast for doneness is a nice trick, but the margin of error for chicken breast is slim. It's deceiving, but with the use of a meat thermometer, we can ensure that our chicken is cooked to our exact desired temperature. The next common mistake when cooking chicken breast is uneven cooking. Based on the natural shape of a chicken breast, by the time the thickest part in the middle is cooked, the ends of your breast are going to be overcooked, resulting in, again, dry chicken. This unaltered piece of breast here has an internal temperature of 150 at its thickest point, while the thinnest piece is already well above 170 degrees. That variance of 20 degrees can be the difference between perfectly cooked chicken and dry chicken. When cutting into the breast, the thick portion has a great texture and still has juice coming out of it when squeezed, but when we observe the thinner part of the breast, it's pretty easy to tell the juice has left this chicken, leaving a dry, stringy piece of meat behind.
Ew. That is bone dry. This is like sandpaper at this point.
Along with uneven cooking comes cooking time and degree of heat when cooking on a stovetop. Due to the thickness and uneven shape of breast meat, it needs to be cooked longer to reach its desired internal temperature, and as a result will cause the exterior of your chicken to blacken and dry out. To combat these two problems, we need to cut and or flatten our breast to an even height before cooking. This will reduce cooking times and eliminate the risk of uneven internal temperatures. By the way, can you guess how many different chicken breasts I cooked in this video? Comment your answer down below. Okay, with our newfound knowledge, let's combine these tips and tricks and cook the perfect chicken breast. We have a pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts here that we're slicing in half height-wise to dramatically even out the thickness of our breast. Avoid cutting yourself by holding the chicken with a flat palm with your fingers sticking horizontally with the knife. After reducing the thickness of our chicken, we're patting them down with paper towels to soak up excess moisture on the surface of our chicken. Moisture is bad for creating fond, which we're going to need for our pan sauce. Once we've dried our chicken, we're going to pound out our chicken to make sure that the thickness is as consistent as possible. Replacing 2 sheets of plastic wrap on top and underneath our breasts. Then, with a heavy object like a pan, gently and repeatedly smack your chicken until the thickness is even throughout. And finally, we're going to season our chicken with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. Seasoning is required, but the choice of seasoning is completely up to your personal preference. This is my standard seasoning when making chicken breast. Season both sides generously and set them aside while we heat up our pan. And speaking of pans, I highly recommend a stainless steel pan for this method of cooking chicken since we want that delicious fond at the end. If you're going to just cook chicken breast and not turn your fond into a pan sauce at the end, then a non-stick pan will work just fine. Drizzle a small amount of neutral oil and turn your burner onto medium. Let your pan heat up until your oil is shimmering. Now place your chicken into the pan, laying the chicken away from you to avoid splatter. Hold the chicken down with your hand or spatula to make sure that the chicken has direct contact onto the pan to achieve even cooking. After a few seconds, you can relax your hands and let your chicken continue to cook on a medium heat for about 2 minutes or until you notice the sides of your chicken begin to cook or turn white. Then, flip your chicken and let it continue to cook to its finishing temperature of 155 degrees Fahrenheit. This should take about 2 minutes, and while it's cooking, continue to monitor its internal temperature. Once we've hit an internal temp of 155, take your breast off the pan and let it rest for about 5 minutes. Now, you could definitely stop here, cut your chicken breast into nice thick slices, and serve. As you can see, our chicken is perfectly cooked, and with a squeeze test, you can tell that the meat is definitely juicy. But let's take it a step further and craft the perfect pan sauce for any chicken dish. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, if you could like, comment, or subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. To prepare our pan sauce, we're going to first need to cut 1 slice of lemon, crush and mince a whole clove of garlic, and finally dice half a shallot. Back to our stove top, after we've seared our chicken, what's left at the bottom of our pan is fond. These brown crusty bits are essentially concentrated chicken flavor. While your stove is on a low or medium heat, add in your diced shallots and give it a pinch of salt before stirring until the shallots are slightly brown and translucent. Then toss in your garlic and also a pinch of flour and continue stirring for another minute. The flour will ensure that our pan sauce will thicken. It's not required, but it's a nice trick to use. After the shallots and garlic are cooked, Pour in 1 cup of chicken stock and turn your heat onto high to rapidly boil down your chicken stock until it begins to thicken up. Your sauce should look like this when you're ready to move on to the next step. Turn off your burner and throw in a tablespoon of cold butter along with a squeeze of lemon juice. The butter needs to be cold to help the emulsification of your sauce, and the lemon juice is going to brighten it up. Once all the butter has been incorporated into the sauce, you're ready to use your pan sauce. Now, pan sauces are very customizable. You can definitely substitute and transform your pan sauce with many different ingredients. Cream can be substituted for butter, vinegar or wine can be substituted for lemon, and vegetable or other stocks can be substituted for chicken stock. The world of pan sauces is endless. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this video helped you if you were looking for some tips to cook better chicken breast. If not, then I hope you at least learned something today about cooking chicken or making pan sauces. If I could only give one tip today when it comes to making chicken breast, it's that a meat thermometer is critically important given that breast has such a small margin of error. Anyway, until my next video, I will see you all next time.